Joining us now, Craig Fugate, former FEMA administrator and chief resilience officer at One Concern. Craig, thank you for being with us this morning. Hey, talk to us about this storm, Cat 4. A lot of rain and a lot of water, and certainly, of course, Cat 4, a lot of wind. How do you see this storm?
Probably one of the best forecasted major hurricanes in modern history. National Hurricane Center and the Weather Service were very clear about this was what was going to happen. The hurricane, was forecasted to strengthen and reach a major category. So, from the standpoint of the Weather Service giving us all the information they could, I don't think they could have done better. But a good forecast doesn't mean we're not going to have, catastrophic impacts. And so this is multi-state. It's still ongoing. I'm sitting in Gainesville where I got the sound of chainsaws going, no power, no internet, and we were on the good side. I mean, we didn't have that much, but we just lost a lot of trees. And this will be across, the whole region as we start to recover.
Craig, what are people's lives going to look like in the next couple of days, weeks, I guess even months for some, right?
Yeah, I mean, as power comes on, I think a lot of areas will start stabilizing. Most of the damage that I'm hearing and seeing outside of the coastal areas are actually trees coming down. Flood damage, they'll get in there, particularly down in Tampa Bay and along these coastal communities. Some of it was destroyed, but a lot of it you won't know until you get in there and see how much water they got. But the big story, I think, is the inland impacts well away from the coast that occurred all the way into Georgia, and now with the flooding up in the Carolinas and stuff. I think for a lot of people it isn't over yet, and for a lot of people in Florida, South Carolina, the areas that lost power, Georgia, power gets back on. That's like 90% of the response, and then you can focus on cleaning up and what repairs need to be made.
What resources, Craig, are available for folks that have been affected by the wind, the water, the surge? Right
now, it's just the emergency services, Red Cross, and the other volunteer organizations. As the governors get a sense and put their request in, I'm pretty sure FEMA will be recommended to the president assistance. And once that gets turned on, that could turn on, as you well know, a lot of the individual and family assistance program for people who didn't have insurance, which I would expect with flooding, we'll probably have a lot of folks that don't have insurance for that. And, and we've talked about this, Craig, forever, but there are no doubt people impacted that don't speak English as their first language, that may have different immigration statuses. What resources do they have access to? How can they get some of that assistance? Well, FEMA will bring in language interpreters, working with both people that English isn't their first language, including people that are hard of hearing and deaf. So I think FEMA, we've learned that you got to prepare for the communities you serve, not what fits your plan. But for undocumented residents, this is the hard one. Congress has been very clear that FEMA cannot provide direct financial assistance. We can provide emergency services. There's never been, we can't get water, food, or emergency shelter to folks. But the traditional, we're going to give you funding to rebuild, that's prohibited. And that's why we work very closely with our charitable organizations, Catholic Charities and, Red Cross and Salvation Army and, the whole world out there of the volunteer agencies. And we kind of do a triage. One of the things that does exist, however, as long as one member of the family is a U.S. citizen, even if that's a baby born in the U.S., they can apply on behalf of the whole family. So, you and I know this. We've worked these issues going back as far as Hurricane Andrew. We oftentimes have to piece together assistance for undocumented families. And so that's something, unfortunately, we actually got a lot of experience at here in Florida.